Welcome back, everybody. Welcome. It's Shiraz here, your host with Duality 7X, guys. And what a weekend. What a fight weekend. And today is Super Bowl Sunday, guys. It's going to be an unbelievable day today. We have the Seattle Seahawks taking on New England Patriots. Guys, it could be anybody's game. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen. But this is not a football channel. I'd love to talk football with you guys, though. Yeah, you know what? We definitely can't talk football. Absolutely. We could talk about anything. We could talk about Wimbledon. We could talk about U.S. Open. We could talk about... It doesn't matter. But the reason we're really here today because we want to talk about what happened on the weekend regarding UFC. And guys, UFC, this was interesting. It was fight night. We had Mario Bautista taking on Vinicius Oliveira in the main event. We had a few other fights too that I'm going to kind of shed some light on and kind of give you my opinion as to my take as to what I saw and how I feel and what could potentially happen next. But at the same time, we also had bare knuckle mania, I believe. Wow, that was pretty interesting, guys. Knuckle Mania 6, I believe, and that one featured Andrei Arlovsky taking on Ben Rothwell, and this was for the World Championship. Andrei Arlovsky, as you guys know, former UFC heavyweight champion of the world. And this man, he's been through a lot in his life. A lot of personal battles, a lot of medical issues. He fought cancer like 3 times. The man is 47 years old, and he's a machine. You guys remember not too long ago during the fight with Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul, and the little skirmish kind of, or a little melee that kind of ensued between him and Jack Doherty, famous YouTuber, and his buddies. And then Jack Doherty called out Andrei Arlovsky saying, hey, we'd love to fight you, like my whole crew, like him and all of his little friends and their bouncer. And and Andrei Arlovsky's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get it on. Anyways, I didn't hear anything out of that, so I don't think anything kind of is going with that. I mean, if those guys have... Those guys are unbelievable YouTubers. They've made a huge success doing YouTube. The last thing they want to do is enter that world, especially against a trained assassin like Andrei Arlovsky. That would be game over. Game, set, match. It'd be done. Anyways, I don't even want to speculate or think about the atrocities that would be committed in that ring. But should that fight ever come to fruition. But anyways, we're not talking about that. I want to switch gears here and kind of focus a little bit more on UFC 113 here. The headliner, guys, it happened in Vegas at the Meta Apex Center. Just a mile or so away from the T-Mobile Arena, not too far away. And guys, I want to hear your thoughts about this. I mean, this bout wasn't about prospects, and it definitely wasn't about highlight reel type of knockouts, or it wasn't really at that level. I mean, it was a little bit more chilled, really good MMA, but the flow was really good, so you were engaged, you were hooked, and you kept, it was pretty good. And especially happening on a Saturday night, guys. I mean, what else do you want to do other than watch MMA? I'm glad it was on, because really there's nothing else on other than the Olympics. And don't get me wrong, the Olympics are unbelievable as well too. It's really fun watching all those competitors do what they do on the grand stage. So if you haven't had a chance to, guys, definitely watch some Olympics. It's pretty cool. But definitely, but I mean, Maria Bautista and Vinicius Oliveira, these guys didn't disappoint, man. Obviously Bautista made it very, very crystal clear going into the fight that he was going to shut the door down on Oliveira's momentum, and pretty much kind of sending a message to the entire bantamweight division that experience trumps hype, right? And so experience still matters. And, obviously Bautista Bautista had 1 win and 4 losses in his last 5, and then Oliveira had an unbelievable 5 straight wins. So it was pretty cool. But I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty. But what I do want to share with you guys is we'll just kind of do like on a high level, right? Because there are a lot of fights to kind of get through, and then what we'll do is tomorrow, I'll share my thoughts and perspective on Knucklemania 6, so we can talk a little bit about that, and then hopefully sometime I can get to UFC London, because I've got this video that I've been wanting to share with you guys for so long, but all these other things keep kind of popping up, right? Breaking news and this and that happens. So hopefully at some point I'll get around to that video. So also Umar Nurmagomedov. We won't talk PFL, but Nurmagomedov did unbelievable in his in PFL last night as well too, and we'll talk a little bit about that. I could easily get steered right off the beaten path, guys, and start talking about everything that actually happened over the weekend, but we don't have that kind of time. So Bautista himself, he came into this, he came off a loss against Umar Nurmagomedov, and he essentially walked into this fight with something to prove, right? He had a mission. He wanted to show to everybody, especially the UFC and the fans, that he's still relevant. He's still relevant, and that the bantamweight division needs to take notice of his presence, right? So it was kind of an interesting fight. He had a very slow kind of opening round, but then, he kind of flipped the script, guys, in round 2, and he started to capitalize on, Oliveira's like takedown attempts, and immediately after that, he started to kind of take control of the situation, and it was really nice. Usually, the first, like the early rounds, are kind of like feeler rounds. That's kind of what I noticed as well too, but. Yeah, he got right in there. He get his mojo. He started to feel comfortable. And once a fighter gets comfortable, guys, that's it. These guys go off and they start doing what they do. He got into like a tight crucifix, and there was a brief moment where there was like a Kimura threat as well too, and then boom, lights out, just like that, guys. Rear naked choke, came out. It was fast. And he stopped Oliveira. Oliveira tapped at 4 minutes and 46 seconds in round number 2, and his 6-fight streak was essentially history. So I keep talking about 5 fights, 6 fights, but in his last 5 fights undefeated, last 6 fights undefeated, and that's it. Just like that, that momentum came to a halting stop. And yes, Bautista did exactly what he said he was going to do. He was going to tell everybody that experience matters most, and he came out there. He was laser beam focused. He was on a mission, and he dominated. And that's exactly what we want to see in guys, especially like Maria Bautista, because now the UFC is on notice. The bantamweight division is on notice. Everybody is aware of his presence. And guys, that wasn't just a submission. That's what I call making a statement. He almost locked in a Kimura, and then to switch gears and to put, win by submission via rear naked choke. That was just masterful. So now Bautista is 9-1 in his last 10 UFC appearances, right? And what stood out for me, guys, honestly, wasn't necessarily the finish. It was really the composure. This guy was calm. He's really smooth. He looked like Oliveira, to me, he looked off. I mean, if you guys watch a fight, he did kind of look a little bit winded, a little bit gassed kind of early. I don't know if he's kind of battling some kind of an illness or whatever, but it did look like he couldn't really contend with Maria Bautista's grappling, his power, his He just looked off. He just looked off, guys. And it to me, it just looked like he was just trying to survive, trying to hang in there. Bautista, on the other hand, he looked like a fighter who understand clearly what his mission was. As soon as he started walking into that ring, you could tell he had that aura, he had that presence. He, like I said, he was laser beam focused on his mission, and he went in there to conquer, and conquer he did. And now he stands on top of the bantamweight food division, right? Food division, the bantamweight division. Yeah, they have a lot of food still. Okay. So anyways, guys, that difference totally matters. Kudos to Maria Bautista. But this guy is definitely, well, we're going to be hearing a lot from Maria Bautista and the UFC, because with a win like that, over a guy like Oliveira, who's got this momentum, a 6-fight winning streak. I mean, for Bautista to just walk right in there and just put a stop to all that, like cold turkey, that tells you something. So I'm expecting big fights, big things for this guy. And look, don't take credit away from Oliveira. I'm telling you, I honestly felt like Vinicius was just a little. He was off. There was something troubling this guy. I'm not trying to make excuses for him. He lost the fight. And sometimes it sucks, guys. Sometimes you walk in there with an illness. I talked about this in my last video. Alex Pereira, I think, had a broken foot going into his fight against Magomedov. Things like this are going to happen, right? You're going to be bruised up. Jake Paul had that, shiner underneath his eye when he went into the fight against Anthony Joshua. A lot of these guys are sustaining all kinds of injuries throughout their sparring sessions, their training, and then there's just illnesses that just happen. We're humans, guys, so we're going to get sick. We're going to catch colds and flus and all those kind of things. And I'm not trying to make excuses for Oliveira, but he did look off. It was something definitely troubling him. It'd be interesting to see if anything kind of comes out regarding that. But don't count this guy out. He'll be back again. I mean, going into this fight with a 6-fight winning streak. Yeah, maybe just in this case, the roulette table had his number a little bit different, or his color. It didn't. The ball didn't spin on black this time. It hit on red, and Maria Bautista got the win. So I expect big things from Oliveira as well too in his next fight. So this gives him an opportunity to go back, regroup, re-strategize, and get ready for his next fight, and hopefully comes out victorious in that one. Now, in the co-main event, and as you guys can tell, I started with the main event. I wanted to give you guys the steak without the sizzle. But now, let's talk about the co-main event, right? So we had Kyoji Horiguchi. He took on Amir Albazi. Now, I don't know, you know that when Horiguchi came into the octagon, he did look visibly smaller than Albazi. They call him Mighty Mouse. I mean, he's got a lot of different names, man. But this guy, this guy's a very dangerous fighter, and he knows how to fight bigger men. All right, and so he's been around the game for over a decade. So, he's been tried, tested, and proven. Guys like this don't just, they're not flash in the pans. They don't just stick around for a short time and leave. For this guy to be in the game, especially in this industry, for as long as he has, he's definitely doing something right. And he's winning, guys, and he's winning convincingly. If a lot of folks had Amir, just because of his size, his but you got to understand, technical fighting is one thing, but experience, so if we're going to take a page out of Maria Bautista's his quotes here, experience definitely trumps sometimes, guys. And look, Amir Albazi, he's no pushover, man. This guy's a top 10 flyweight. But Horiguchi, he came in there with a different game plan. He delivered a beautiful, clean, very disciplined, technical performance. And if you guys want to see masterclass MMA, watch his fights. All right. I remember telling my family, as we're watching this fight, hey guys, this is going to be good. You guys are going to enjoy this. This is going to be a treat. I knew what this guy was capable of. But everybody around me is like, oh, he's got no chance against this Albazi guy. Albazi just looks mean. He just looks so like bigger. I go, well, watch this guy. I mean, there was a part of me too that thought, well, you know what? Maybe the tables are going to turn here and Albazi's going to walk in there and just, you know, take care of business. But Horiguchi, he's again, like I said, I've watched his fights before. I've seen him around. I've been around the block. I'm a little bit older, so I've seen his fights from a long time back, and I know what this guy's capable of, right? And he looked good. He didn't look like he was off like Oliveira did. He didn't look ill or sick, so I knew this was going to be a good match. And I'm not too familiar with Amir, but I was quite familiar with Horiguchi, right? So, anyways, if on the betting lines, if you had him winning, you would have done quite well. But anyways, guys, it was 15 minutes of MMA masterclass. It was great. The scorecards had it 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28. And you know what? There was one moment, I think late in, was it round 1 or 2? I think it was round 1. And so there was a brief moment. I think it was round 1. Anyways, there was a brief moment where the momentum kind of shifted a little bit, and Amir had this he kind of went in there. He looked like he was going to do some damage, but then Horiguchi just kind of put an end to that. His speed, his the way he kind of moves in and out, he's got really nice combinations. Obviously he's been practicing that a lot, and when it comes to understanding his control, his timing, and his distance, Horiguchi, he studies that like a science, right? And I mean, Albazi, he couldn't really get this fight to where he wanted it. I mean, he looked dangerous as well. He looks like a really good fighter. And but he's going to have to work on his takedown attempts because they were kind of weak. I think he had a total of like seven takedown attempts, and he failed in all of them. And Horiguchi, honestly, he was landing the cleaner shots. His striking was really good. It was on top, and he was damaging Albazi, right, in the final 2 rounds. So it was a no contest to me, guys. No finish. But look, make no mistake. I mean, this is Horiguchi at his best as a veteran, reminding everybody again that experience trumps a lot of things, and in this case it did. He reminded the entire flyweight division that he never left. He's still around, and a fierce competitor to contend with. 100%. I really enjoyed that fight. That was really good. And then you had Rizvan Kunev taking on Charlton Almeida. Now, these guys are no strangers to the scene either, but this was a heavyweight bout, guys. I was expecting early damage, and I mean, I was thinking we're gonna have an early knockout. There was gonna be a lot of violence. Kuniev came in there, with a lot of. He was clinching a lot. He was trying to maintain that control, that pressure, that forward pressure. He's trying to shut down Almeida, and then obviously, Kuniev did his best work, like just being in tight, within close proximity. He was doing really well with his body shots, his knees, his elbows, again, all within close proximity. It was damaging Almeida, and then there was a lot of times where the referee had to come in and kind of separate the two guys. I even heard a few boos as well too, but I think a lot of those boos were kind of coming from really far away, probably from people who are sitting like in the nosebleeds or in a really high seating area, because you can't really see very close, right? I mean, you can see on the screens exactly what's going on, but I mean, Rizvan, he had a different agenda. I mean, I'm sure these guys always are looking for the knockout, where applicable, of course. But in this case, Rizwan wanted to maintain a lot of forward pressure on Almeida. He wanted to kind of wear him down, get him gassed. And by maintaining strict, tight control within close proximity, knees, elbows, body shots, I think he did what he was supposed to do. And I mean, Rizvan banked some, points earlier in the rounds, and he really, by wearing and tearing down Almeida, he never really gave Almeida an opportunity to recover, especially on the scorecards in front of the judges, because there was a moment actually in round 3 in Almeida. He started to show some more urgency, which was great. But I mean, by then the damage was pretty much done, right? This was Rizvan's fight. Back-to-back losses now for Almeida raises some serious questions about his future within the UFC, especially in the heavyweight division, because the heavyweight division is getting pretty stacked. And when these guys come out to fight, it doesn't matter if it's fighting at the Apex Center, at the T-Mobile Arena, Madison Square Gardens, in Saudi, Qatar. It really doesn't matter where they fight. The fact that they're fighting takes away a lot of potential real estate, to another fighter who could have occupied that spot. So therefore, it's incumbent upon the fighters to do the best that they can, especially under such crazy circumstances, because being a fighter is not easy, but that's their job. And so when they have an opportunity to perform, to fight in front of the UFC and the fans and the fan base and the millions watching around the world, well, you want to do the best that you can to prove that you can continue to take away that real estate from fellow competitors, because you deserve it. In this case, Almeida did look quite, he looked off. Things weren't working for him. And like I said, that little thing that happened in round number 3, he was starting to get up there, but it just wasn't doing it for him, right? So anyways, again, yeah, like I said, these back-to-back losses are definitely going to be probably discussed at a higher level. It's going to be interesting to see kind of what happens. I mean, I see this guy possibly getting another shot, maybe. I don't know, maybe on a prelims, and work his way back up to the main card. I guess we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happened. And then I'm going backwards, guys. And then, so it's not, I'm going backwards. So, Mikhail Oleksiak took on Marc-Andre Barrial. Okay, this was interesting, man. There was a lot of grit in this matchup. I mean, look, Michael, he made it. Honestly, 3 straight wins, all right? And it didn't come easy. Marc-Andre is a beast, okay? I mean, these guys are no joke, all right? Early on, obviously, there was a lot of control. Oleksiak was kind of like stalking, and, he was landing some beautiful, clean lefts. He was dictating the pace, maintaining some really, really nice proximity control between him and his opponent, and he was controlling the show. It was his fight, dictating everything, and then Marc-Andre turned it into a battle. He turned it into a war. Right down the stretch, guys, he started to force some serious exchanges in the clinch, making Oleksiak very, very uncomfortable, and making him earn every second of that victory. This wasn't a cakewalk. I knew this was going to be a battle, but I didn't realize how amazing of a battle it was going to be, right? I mean, if you guys missed this fight, please find it on YouTube or on any kind of social media platform, wherever it is, Twitter, I don't know. Find this fight and watch it. It was unbelievable. Like I said, Oleksiak looked like he had the control early on. And don't get fooled. I knew this wasn't going to be a one-sided fight. I knew this because I know what Marc-Andre is capable of. But But yeah, it did look like he had a lot of strong momentum going in there. But then Marc Andre just kind of flipped the on button, and off he went. He went to war with Oleksiak, and it was a battle, guys. Honestly, and in the end, like honestly, round three, yeah, Serge sealed it. Pretty much. All three judges scored it 29-28 for the Polish sensation and the Polish striker. So Oleksiak got this one. Beautiful fight, guys. And then just before that one was Farid Basharat, and this guy is an unbelievable fighter. I'm surprised he doesn't get enough credit or enough people talking about him, because he's 15-0, guys. 15-0, and he was taking on Matsumoto. And you look, Matsumoto pushed him very, very hard. All right, it was expected. Gene's, obviously, these guys have been around. They know what they need to do. Basharat's, though, his striking, his range really impressed me. Definitely, I had the edge when it came to striking. I had Basharat having the edge in that. And but Matsumoto honestly had a lot of success by dragging the fight into some very uncomfortable areas for Basharat, and honestly, a split decision reflected the tension essentially, and highlighted how razor thin these fights can be. So I had the edge for Basharat, but Matsumoto put on such a convincing performance that it could have gone, honestly, guys, either way. Right. And so when we're talking about the bantamweight division, the bantamweight division is stacked, guys, and the margins are very, very razor thin in that division as well. So there's a lot of things that are going to be, there's going to be a lot of shuffling around, a lot of interesting things that are going to be coming out of that division. And really, only the strong are going to survive. So it's going to be really, really interesting. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about Dustin Jacoby. Once again, reminding everybody that he's probably one of the most dangerous finishers around at 205 pounds, guys. Lightweight. I mean, these guys are something else, man. I mean, anyone. I was watching Dustin. I was watching him fight, and I was like, man, this guy could easily climb up to heavyweight if he wanted to, because I could tell with the speed and the way he fights, he could fight in the heavyweight division if he really wanted to, kind of like Alex Pereira flirting with the heavyweight division. I really think Jacoby could do the same thing too, right? But anyways, guys, he survived some early slams by Julius Walker, and then Jacoby just kind of turned the on switch in round number 2, and he snapped. Guys, he snapped Walker's head back with a beautiful, clean 1-2, dropping this guy and forcing referee Dan Miraglata to intervene, because there was a lot of damage that was sustained along the fence. And Dan knew what he was getting into, man. These guys are big boys, okay, and easily could be heavyweights. But look, that's 3 straight UFC finishes, guys. 7 career knockouts. And look, that makes Jacoby tying for the all-time in UFC light heavyweight history. What a beautiful finish. And see, that kicked off the card, guys, and I loved it. Look, UFC, there's some good fights, and by the sounds of it, if you watch this whole video, there was some good fights. UFC Vegas 113 didn't disappoint. It wasn't flashy, but it had a lot of substance to it, right? And it was good. There was definitely value, and I enjoyed watching it. I loved watching these veterans like pounce on these new up and coming prospects. It was a Veterans Day, definitely, for sure, at the Apex Center at UFC 113. Experience definitely beat momentum. Mario Bautista kind of called it, and technical discipline won the night, guys. Anyways, if you guys enjoy these breakdowns, that's my breakdown. I want to hear your thoughts and comments. Of course, I read all of the comments. I try to respond to all of the comments. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and responses for sure. But if you guys enjoy these real fight breakdowns, no promotional spins or anything of the sort, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, smash the like and subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments and hit the notification so you never miss a beat. Let me know who impressed you the most at UFC Vegas 113. And I look forward to catching you guys tomorrow, where we're going to talk about Knucklemania 6. Andrei Arlovski, the new bare knuckle heavyweight champion of the world. Guys, I'm Shiraz signing out. Duality 7X. See ya.